You're actually not going to need to make another document. Welcome back. You can just go down to the previous directory that we were working on last class, the Taco Lab directory. Make sure that in your terminal, it says workspace/Taco Lab. And actually, you know what, Owens? You make a good point. It might just be easier to make a new one. I was going to have you write over the old Taco Basic, but let's just go ahead and make a new file. Let's call this new file called taco-advanced.html. So you should touch a taco-advanced.html file. And in the taco advanced file, you should open it up and you should copy the HTML that I just sent you. If you take a look at it, you'll notice that it's very similar. This time, instead of 3 tacos, how many tacos do we have? Like 18 tacos. That's a lot of tacos. And in fact, if you preview this taco page, the Taco Advanced, you'll notice that we just got tacos on tacos on tacos. That's a lot of tacos. So in this case, you'll still notice that the active taco still has the white glow behind it. You notice that? How many tacos are glowing right now? Just one. Just that one in the upper left. Exactly. In this lab, we're going to take a look at why it's important to be able to select a bunch of tacos at once. Tacos on tacos on tacos. Now, there's going to be 2 tacos at the bottom like this, by the way. And that's fine. In this taco lab, we're going to take a look at the same kind of JavaScript we were messing with last time, except we're going to update it a little bit. Now, if you look at the taco.js file that we wrote notes in last time, we used an if statement. We use a document.query selector, and we used an event handler to allow us to click on the first taco right here and make that taco glow and unglow like this. Everyone make sure yours can do this, because that will mean you're caught up from the work from last class. If you're not, it's cool. I'll come around and check you right now and make sure you're caught up so you can get ready to do this work today. You might have noticed that the code we're using to change this taco from glowy to unglowy is pretty long. It's 5 lines. Let's go over what it's actually doing here. The first thing we do is we write an if statement. This is called a conditional in JavaScript. Conditional. This conditional is checking if that first taco dot class list, which means the list of classes, and if you go to the Taco Advanced, you'll notice that it says class equals, and there's 3 different things in there. What are the 3 things? Item, taco, and active. So what happens is, it looks through each of these items. It says, is this active? Is this active? Is this active? Okay, it finds one. If the list contains the word active, the class active, then it runs this chunk of code right here, which does what? It removes the active class from the list. So it basically makes it look like this. And that's all it really does. Otherwise, if the list does not contain active, it adds the active class to the list. This isn't super difficult to think about, but it's a lot of code to do one simple thing. So if you look right here, it still works, but there's an easier way to do this. Instead, you can just write first taco.classlist.toggle active. And toggle will turn it on and off just like this one does. So if I get rid of this and I save it and I come here, I can still do the exact same thing with 1 line of code rather than 5. Pretty easy. It makes life much easier. So if I delete this, now it's a lot easier to do all this goodness, huh? You notice that? Why did I make you do all the hard stuff first? Because not everything is as easy as toggling it. Sometimes you need to be able to add it. Sometimes you need to be able to only remove it. But often oftentimes toggle is a useful way to do it. You need to know all three strategies to deal with the different ways that you might change your UI, your user interface. But today, we're going to look at 18 different tacos. Now notice, by the way, if I asked you to go in here and make one of those for every single taco, I only have one for the first three, right? You see this? But I want you guys right now, and I'm going to give you exactly 45 seconds. No, I'll give you a minute and 45 seconds to see how many tacos you can allow to toggle. So you basically have to write the same thing for each taco. You're going to start with the first taco, and I want you to be able to toggle the active class. See how many you can finish in the next 1 minute and 45 seconds. Ready? Now again, you're trying to make as many tacos toggle the active class as possible in 1 minute and 45 seconds. Now if you look at the advanced template, there's 18 tacos. See how many you can get in the next 1 minute and 45 seconds. Ready? Set? Go. Hands off the keyboards. Everybody stop. Hands off the keyboards. A few people still typing. No more, please. Who got the highest? How many did you get in? You got 7? 8? That's actually a lot. You got 10? Dang, nicely done. You got 4? That's fine. Don't judge yourself by how many you're able to do, because that's not how you should judge yourself as a programmer. And in fact, there's actually a much easier way to do this. I knew, you knew it. This is what I like to do. I like to make your lives difficult and then make it easy again. And then make it difficult and then make it easy again. Now, you might have noticed that we have to select every single taco individually. Did you notice that? That's annoying. There's actually a way to select all the tacos with a certain kind of class. Here's how we do it. I'm going to say var all the tacos is equal to document.query selector, and notice how Cloud9 is filling in for me the two things that start with query select. What are those two things? Query selector all. Check this out. Let's click that one. Query selector all, and we're going to say dot tacos. Now, if you look at the advanced, the taco advanced file, oh, sorry, just taco. Notice that they all have the taco class. Did you see that? So if we say query selector all dot taco, it'll actually give us back a list of all of the taco divs. If we have a list, which we call in JavaScript an array, of all the taco divs, we can loop over that list. All the tacos is an array of taco div. It's actually not really an array, but you can think of it as an array for the time being. It's the easiest way to think about it. So if we have a list of all the taco divs, we can loop over every taco div and give it the glow, unglow style. Here's how you do it. We're going to say all the tacos dot forEach. Now, this forEach function is a loop. It loops over every item in the list. So in this case, when it says all the tacos dot forEach, it's saying for every single taco, do something with that taco. Now, the way I like to write my functions inside a forEach loop, you can write your functions like this. Function, take every taco and do something with it. But there's a shorter way to write this. Some people like to write their functions like this. You just write taco, and then you use the fat arrow, an equal sign and an arrow, and just do that, and it's the same thing. This is the same thing as a function. Now, if you read this in English, what it looks like is all the tacos forEach. For every taco, we're going to do something to that taco. And in fact, we're just going to do exactly this. We're going to copy this little line of code right here, and we're going to throw it in right there, and we're going to replace first taco with taco. And notice how we have this function event thing here. We can do the exact same thing by just saying event equal sign arrow. And those are the same thing. They're both functions. This is just a little shorter and easier to write. So if you delete everything else in your file except for this, this will make it so that every single taco on your page can now glow and unglow in barely 5 lines of code. Test it out. Make sure I'm right. Let's check it out. I'm going to press save really quickly. I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to make sure every taco can glow and unglow. They can, huh? Notice that? How every taco is glowing if I wanted to? Pretty nice. I want you to go in and make sure you can do the same thing right now, and then we'll move on to the next thing in a second.